CNN is reporting a new draft order by President Trump could revamp the H-1B visa program. That visa is used by tech companies to bring in skilled workers for a number of jobs. In 2015, the total number of tech workers in the U.S. grew to more than 6.7 million. Texas is the second largest tech sector state, right behind California. In fact, close to 14,000 jobs were added in 2015 in Texas. In Austin, almost 25% of tech entrepreneurs are from overseas. That's according to an immigration attorney we spoke with tonight. KXAN's Leslie Rangel breaks down what the changes could mean for our community and why one tech CEO says Trump's immigration plans are already hurting Austin.
Even if you're not from one of the countries that's been called out, there's a wall, a perception wall about, hey, maybe it doesn't make sense to go to the States anymore.
Kevin Coyne, founder and CEO of TechRanch, says President Trump's ideas of tightening immigration are already turning international business away.
The message that we're sending as the United States to the rest of the world is that we're not open for global business, and I think that's a mistake.
Coyne says an increase in barriers, like making H-1B harder to obtain, will ultimately hurt the U.S. Nothing is finalized yet, but immigration attorneys are already hearing about the possibilities.
Things like limiting the H-1B visas for foreign nationals that have advanced degrees, and raising the minimum prevailing wage that a foreign national must be paid.
With all the confusion, many in the industry are hoping changes won't happen until after 3rd. That's when the U.S. is expected to make 85,000 H-1B visas available to foreign nationals.
I don't have a crystal ball. There's no way for me to know what the future holds. Things are moving faster than we've ever seen before, so there's no way to tell.
Businesses like TechRanch say the whispers of changes are already sending out a clear message.
Long-term economic success of any country or any city in the world has always been about startup entrepreneurs. The predominance of who's starting them in the United States right now are immigrants. We should pay attention to that.
In Austin, Leslie Rangel, KXAN News.
President Trump is not the only one looking to reform the H-1B visa program. 3 separate bills have been introduced in Congress this month that would change it. A Democratic lawmaker from the Silicon Valley wants to remove the lottery system and replace that with a preference for companies that can pay the highest salaries. In recent years, outsourcing companies receive the most H-1B visas, while other tech companies have struggled to get all that they want. 85,000 H-1B visas are issued every year, but demand for them in 2016 was 3 times more than the number available. We reached out to several local companies about the proposed draft bill. HomeAway is an Austin-based vacation rental marketplace. They have listings in hundreds of countries and more than 15,000 employees. They are owned by Expedia. Expedia's CEO releasing a statement saying that America is a nation of immigrants and claims that President Trump jeopardized that with the stroke of a pen. Chairman and CEO of Dell Technologies says the company believes in harnessing the power of the best and brightest talent regardless of their country of origin. Michael Dell also says the company will provide legal support and resources to team members and family members that are affected. New